Good evening and thank you for joining us. Thunder Bay City Council is being asked to approve the purchase of 4 new ambulances tomorrow evening. City staff are recommending that the city buy the vehicles from Crestline Coach out of Saskatoon for a total cost of $547,000. The city has set aside $550,000 in the 2019 budget. Officials with Superior North EMS previously noted that they responded to 35,000 calls last year. They've also seen about a 5% annual increase in calls over the past few years. Also tomorrow night, Council is being asked to amend the city's smoking bylaw to bring restrictions on smoking marijuana and vaping in line with those already in place for tobacco smokers. And the mayor will bring forward a memo asking staff to include the option of funding the indoor turf sports facility in its last list of possible uses for the newly announced federal gas tax money. Last month's Liberal budget included a plan to double the gas tax funds available to municipalities this year. Thunder Bay will receive an additional $6.9 million. A contentious topic was up for discussion this week at Greenstone Council. Should residents who live in the rural areas of the municipality be designated under a different taxation profile? As Adam Riley reports, is an issue that would be divisive within the municipality, putting rural taxpayers up against our urban ones.
The municipality of Greenstone is one of the largest municipalities in Ontario, covering over 2,700 square kilometers. While many of the residents live within one of the several communities that make up Greenstone, some live outside of those boundaries in the rural areas. Several weeks ago, Rural Ward West Councillor Andre Blanchard proposed a motion that residents in those areas be taxed at a different rate than those in the urban centres, to compensate for a lack of services such as sewer and water. During Monday evening's council meeting, one resident came forward and spoke in support of the motion.
My husband's on senior pension, and I'm working minimum wage, minimum hours, and we're paying $517 a month for taxes. Like houses in town that have the same surface area, living area, pay $1,000 to $2,000 less than we do. That's not fair.
However, before his motion could be voted on, Blanchard revealed when it comes to creating tax classes, the municipality's hands are tied.
In MPAC codes, MPAC has got 400 and some odd codes for different classifications. Rural is not one of them. So that ties our hands as a council to introduce a rural property class or a rural property subclass. But I am going to have to retract the motion that I tabled.
Blanchard says he had consulted with other communities and discovered there were some legal issues after putting the motion forward, which put him and his proposal at odds with the rest of council, of which he apologized for. Acting Mayor John Marino says, at least for now, the discussion of a rural tax rate is off the table.
I think due diligence has been done. We couldn't take it any further than what was said, and I know there was a fair amount of people in the audience that were hoping for a different decision, and I will probably hear about that.
Adam Riley, TBT News.
With a reopening of the Fort Frances Mill seeming less likely by the day, a longtime supporter says it may be time to look at the situation from a different perspective. Kenora Rainy River MPP Greg Rickford says Resolute Forest Products had a backstop agreement in place which nullified the wood rights claim many of the town were clinging on to. Residents of the town hoped the mill would be sold to a company which planned on reopening operations. With facts coming to light from the MNR stating Resolute was not in the wrong, Rickford says he's now being in conversations with a number of organizations.
Focus is trying to establish the facts on the ground. We've moved discussions like wood rights out of the way. We know that if a new market entrant wants to come in there, they'll have access to fiber. So now we're talking about the business opportunity, and we're getting the people to the table who can prospectively open this asset in whole or in part.
Rickford says he is committed to re-establishing Fort Frances as a meaningful member of the forestry sector. The results of the public survey on police costing in Dryden are out. The city is looking at the cost of disbanding the Dryden Police Service in favor of the OPP. In total, 474 people took the survey, and 431 of those respondents said they reside in Dryden. When it came to the question of service models, 365 people responded with almost 60% preferring the police service and just 33% for the switch to the OPP. The city has held several public events in recent months, including a presentation by the OPP and the accounting firm MNP to discuss the switch. A town hall meeting was also held last month where residents could ask questions and voice their concerns. A final decision has yet to be made by City Council, but it's expected to come sometime this month or in May. The Thunder Bay Chamber of Commerce hosted their 25th Annual Business Excellence Award to recognize the city's new and long-standing local businesses. 56 nominees were in the running for awards in numerous categories, including business excellence, customer service, and non-for-profit excellence. Each nominee is judged by an exclusive panel of chamber members before the winners are announced.
To recognize that we do have some amazing people in our community. I mean, every business has ups and downs, and you need to make sure that you provide that opportunity for them to celebrate the successes and the growth, and we've seen some great examples of that tonight.
I think the area's got really primed for change. We've seen a real renaissance in the community, and I think the Business Awards here are a really big part of that. You know, recognizing a lot of businesses doing a lot of great things for the community, a lot of new hires, a lot of new tech, and I think it's really burgeoned to really boom in the next 10, 20 years.
Some of the other winners include Bonobos Foods, Malon's Promotional Clothing and Products, and North Star Airlines for their success contributions to the community. The Thunder Bay Art Gallery is now featuring a number of exhibitions highlighting the works of prolific Indigenous artists, including one of the most legendary painters to come out of northwestern Ontario. An event was held today where the man who chronicled the life of the late Norval Morrisseau spoke about the painter's history. Corey Nordstrom has more.
The work of Norval Morrisseau is back on display at the Thunder Bay Art Gallery. Morrisseau is widely regarded as one of the most innovative painters of the 20th century and the founder of the Woodland School of Art. As part of the exhibition, literary scholar and author of Morrisseau's biography, Armand Garnett-Ruffo, held the reading of his book. Garnett-Ruffo first met the esteemed painter in the mid-2000s. The writing of the biography took nearly 10 years to craft and included interviews from 50 people who were close to the famous painter.
Once I met him and I started doing more and more research, I found his life just truly fascinating because, as I say in the introduction to my biography, I saw his life as representing not only, himself specifically, but also the experience of many Indigenous peoples of that period.
The art gallery has 117 pieces of Morrisseau's art ranging throughout his long career. Acting curator Andrea Terry says they are regularly asked about his paintings, and showing the 10 currently on display is answering a call the public wants.
And we get people who visit from the States, from all over the world actually, who come to this gallery asking to see Morrisseau. So in this way, we're really trying to give visitors what they want.
Garnett-Ruffo notes the perspective and thought that Morrisseau put into his artwork, many of which coming from stories from his life, like the 1994 piece, In Honor to Our Grandchildren.
It'll open up the paintings, in a way that you wouldn't normally get from just without having that knowledge, because as I say, the paintings are so embedded with Norval's experiences and cultural knowledge.
The exhibit can be seen until the 19th of May. Corey Nordstrom, TBT News.
Movie buffs hurried to the theater today to catch some flicks on the big screen as the North of Superior Film Association wrapped up their annual festival. Around 2,500 film fans came out to this year's festival. On average, more than 200 attendees enjoyed each movie, including the hit film Colette, as well as ones produced by homegrown talent. It was the first time the festival used both Silver City wings in a successful effort to curb long wait lines. The association's president, Marty Mascarin, says because they do not receive any ongoing funding, a successful festival this time around will help them out next year.
It's nice to get even a sliver into the black. And if we're able to do that, then we've achieved our purpose, because we want the festival to remain affordable to people. So it could be nothing to raise the rates and so on and so forth, but we want the festival to remain accessible to the public at large as well as their patrons.
He says the two-week festival will return next year for the 27th season. Lots of attendees for this movie fest, but a lot of people stayed at home to watch the Masters.
Yeah, and what a Masters it was if you stayed at home and watched it. Something pretty legendary.